I started in this industry actually by accident. I was actually a music student, and they canceled the music program at the school I was at. And then I applied at NAIT, and I took the 3-year program with the idea of I was going to go into the drafting program. The thing that happened to me on the first day is there was an instructor, Mr. Bosch, a Dutch carpenter. He was absolutely great. He's such a humble guy, and he had done a lot of construction work, and he just impressed me. And I knew I was going to go down that right after meeting him.
Paul and I go back so many years, it'd be difficult. I would say probably 25 or 30 years ago. I think anybody that's worked with him, sub-trades or other contractors, see him as somebody who wants the project to work. He's not an egocentric person, he's a team player and wants everybody to succeed.
So I was very fortunate. There was 2 of us were hired right off the bat out of NAIT. We were the first 2 to be hired. Neither one of us knew what we were doing, but we knew we needed the job, so we took it. And so I was a junior draftsman just drafting huge, massive concrete areas. No idea what it meant, just knew I was just drawing, which became an issue for me because I wanted to understand why I was doing that, which I was not getting at that project. So RJC approached me after a couple of years that I was doing all these power generation stations. And then the fellow's name was Gino Ferry. And I thought, geez, this gentleman's got kind of an style, so I went to work for him. The other thing that impressed me about RJC is the knowledge they gave us. And I learned so much 4 or 5 years there that I'm very grateful for. I was the last person that got let go by RJC when the downturn came. So I went back to the university to take some more computer courses related to CAD drawings at the time. And after I'd gone through that, I was approached by a firm to work on Canada Place to put all the drawings together on there using CAD. After the CAD program was finished, the construction started, I moved onto the site to look after the quality control for the structural engineering firm. So the area manager for the firm, EllisDon, Mr. Fred Ray says, well, Paul, I'll tell you what we're going to do is I'm going to offer you a job.
At that point, we were looking for young people. Imagine calling Paul Forgues young. We hired him as a coordinator, and then he moved quickly up the ranks. Very smart guy, so he moved quickly up the ranks and took on senior roles in Edmonton. Then he moved on to the Calgary Airport, which was a large project, and he was fully in charge of it. The airport authority just loved him.
That was a very challenging project. That within itself, that program had 10 to 12 buildings that we had to build inside that program. So the challenge was to organize the 12 to see how they were going to be built into sequence. And that was a lot of fun to do that first, and then we built each of the buildings.
He's been involved in hospitals, schools, and all of those projects. He also puts his heart into them. He just doesn't go there to get the job done. He takes a personal interest in the project and all the trades that get involved.
From there, he moved back. Now, I'm leaving out some small projects, but then he moved back to do the Mazankowski.
Mazankowski was going to be the state-of-the-art heart transplant facility in North America. And my role as a construction manager was to work with the University of Alberta and all the consultants and put a program together that built the Mazankowski.
It was in the midst of the boom of the Alberta economy. There were shortages of sub-trades, the drawings were late in coming out, and he had to balance the engineering along with the construction, along with these other complex pieces. His ability to deal with each of these issues individually and respectfully allowed that project to get built in a way I think otherwise would have been through a lot more difficulty.
Paul had been involved with NAIT long before I had even started at NAIT, but I would say in my time with Paul, his impact was really pushing industry to support our program and to support really all areas of NAIT.
Terry Fulcher was the head guy for NAIT for the construction technology. And then he asked me to come on the advisory board so we could take a look at their program. And I enjoyed working with staff at NAIT for 10 years.
Paul always gave the young people a great shot, but another example would be the way he brought women into the industry. He did it before others. He brought them in not only into the office, but into the field. He was ahead of the curve with respect to bringing women into our industry. That was Paul. He was forward thinking. They brought a lot to the table, and he wasn't going to let that resource be missed.
Paul has committed so much of his professional life to purposes that benefit everybody that's involved in the industry.
He's doing what he can to make our industry better. He's doing what he can to develop the people in our industry. He's doing what he can to make our systems better. When he's working with NAIT, when he's working with SAIT, when he's working with the ECA, it's all with respect to making our industry better.
And he's a very good example for young men and women who are now entering the industry.
He's really strived and succeeded to build relationships, not just from him on a personal level, but with other areas of industry, like almost a industry education matchmaker kind of thing. Yeah.
Paul's ability, which comes back to his mannerisms, his treatment of people, allows him to find his way on all projects because he's very interested in everybody succeeding, not just about his own ego. That is his greatest strength.